everyone from Supercharge Your Health. This is Beth Annie Stockdale and
Suzanne Van Dress.
And we are here as promised in Supercharge Your Health. We promised to take you on the road. One of the segments in Supercharge Your Health is Gadgets and Gadgets, and we are here at Discount Med Direct down in Cape Coral for something that I'm really excited about. We are sitting on, if you can see between us, a Amethyst Biomat. Now, most of you are familiar with Amethyst. You can see my little bracelets. That we wear Amethyst to do certain things like increase your stamina and endurance, emotional balancing, and enhancing your intuition. But Suzanne here has a mat that is infused with the amethyst. So I'm going to turn this over to you so Suzanne can explain a little bit about the mat.
So the Biomat's been around for years, and it is actually an FDA-approved medical device. And what you do is you lay on it. Some people put them actually on their beds. They have them at home and put them on their beds and sleep on them every night. That's actually where we got it from, was a person, a couple that, I don't know if they bought a new one or they decided that they didn't want it anymore, so they donated it to us, actually through a friend of mine. And so we took it as an opportunity to bring it in to have it available for people to come in and get treatments on.
So besides the amethyst, what else is actually in the mat?
It creates infrared technology. So it kind of like your infrared sauna, it's creating the infrared heat waves, and this actually does heat up too. We're sitting on it and it's on, so it's actually heating us up as we're sitting here.
So if we get more mellow as we're sitting here, you know why, because the mat is actually heating up. It feels really good.
Actually, it'd be better if we could have like suspended the camera and the microphone and laid down while we were doing this. I'm not sure that would have been the best look for us.
Weird. But all right, so we have the infrared therapy that gets into your muscles,
yes,
and your joints, and helps relax.
Yes,
and reduces the inflammation.
Yeah, and based on the level of heat that we put on, we turned it all the way up. We maybe should have started with a little lower.
Well, we'll talk about that in a minute. So we have the amethyst, we have the infrared technology.
And I think actually the newer biomats, if you buy one now, have tourmaline in them as well.
To help, well, that gets into the third phase of the negative ions. What does the negative ions do?
Negative ions basically increase your blood flow, which helps your body to rid itself of toxins. So toxins are positively charged. You create negative ion charges, and they wash that stuff out of your body, basically.
So basically what the biomat is, the purpose for which Suzanne is going to be using the biomat, as you know, we're going to be following along on her journey for weight loss, is I'm going to have her start using the biomat at least once a week for that detoxification, to increase your circulation and to get the waste, to detoxify your fat cells and your blood. Now, you alluded to that there are different settings for the mat, different temperatures. Go ahead and explain that.
So there are, what they have is, well, I think ours just has, I'm looking behind me to see, ours just has the green, yellow, and red, but I think now they've also added even a lower one, or when you just have it on without the heat, ours has to have the heat.
Can you explain what those different levels mean?
Yeah, so the first one in the new mats is just the negative ion, so it would just do the negative ion part of it, which refreshes, invigorates, and just kind of starts the relaxation and charges up your immune system.
Okay, good.
If you go up to the second color, which is green, which is where ours actually starts, it's more of a preventative health care. It'll help to get your blood flowing and get all those little capillaries that start to shut down as we age, opening up and things like that.
So once you get feeling really, really good, you can use the biomat then for just maintenance.
Right.
Got it.
And then the gold or yellow setting is more for people who are working out, sports training, people who start having muscle aches, or even people who would have like arthritis or just muscle issues on a more daily basis. I'm very excited because I slept weird last night and my neck is killing me, so I can't wait till we get done recording so I can actually lay down and let it hit my neck a little bit. And then red is the detoxifying, when you really get into the heavy-duty detoxifying effects of the negative ions, and the amethysts just enhance that.
Now we're sitting right on the mat, but when you're using the mat, do you just lay right on it, or is there a cover or anything?
No, and I think if, for the people who are watching, because I know some of you can't see us, there is like a kind of like a thin bedspread type mat that goes over the top of it, just to give you a little bit of protection from the direct heat.
And then do you put like a sheet or a blanket or towels or anything over top of you?
Yes, they do recommend that you do that. The first treatment that I had, I think I even undressed. But you can do it obviously clothed if you prefer. Here at our store, we don't really have the facilities for people to undress, so you can just lay with your clothes. And we do have a sheet that we provide that people can just toss over themselves to cover up. But I think the first one that I actually did was a friend of mine before I got this one, and she had me undressed, just, not completely naked, but just, she said whatever level you're, like the massage therapist, whatever level you're comfortable with. And then she covered me and allowed me just to lay there for about 45 minutes.
So who, for our listeners, who would benefit from using the Biomat?
Well, anybody's going to benefit from the detoxification and the relaxation sides of it. We actually had an event here when we first got the mat, and we turned it on, and we had like people just laying on it, like they just were taking turns climbing on and off of it. And the one lady said when she went to leave, she's like, I don't know if it's just because I was laying still for so long or if it was the Biomat. I'm like, yeah, but you feel better. That's all that matters, right?
Right. And I'm going to go ahead and take this. And from a wellness standpoint, instead of isolating, like the woman said, she didn't know if it was the mat or what it was. Anytime you start combining the different modalities, they start working synergistically together. So adding in any of these modalities to what you're already doing, especially if you're starting a weight loss program or a detoxification program, adding any of these type modalities into what you're doing will increase your effects. And that's why I have Suzanne. She's going to be doing at least once a week. She's going to be doing
We lost something here. I don't know where we lost it. Maybe we should have kept going. Let's just keep going. We'll go back to the recording.
Okay. All right, is it recording now?
Yeah.
Okay. So anyone who's doing any kind of weight loss, this would be definitely a very beneficial modality to add in any kind of detoxification. So Suzanne is going to be doing the red setting at least once a week. And doing the red setting, that's the temperature is pretty high. And she'll be doing it with either blankets or a towel over top of her to assist in that detoxification. And she's looking here in her little...
This is my crystal book.
Her crystal book.
I'll show it to the people who can see it, some of the radio people. This is The Essential Guides to Crystals by Simon and Sue Lilly. And it's working with crystals for energy. As we know, energy is all around us, and everything is made out of energy. So I have amethyst, and amethyst's healing functions are encourages self-control, calms harsh emotions, and brings stability, helps practical applications of imagination, aids in meditation and sleep. So that's why sleeping on it would be really good.
All right. What was that first one that you said?
Sure, now we could go back. Encourages self-control.
All right. That is a great segue into our next segment of Supercharge Your Health. As I mentioned earlier, we're going to be following Suzanne on her weight loss journey, and part of my program is also a brain assessment. What we don't understand is our brain...
Before we go on to the brain stuff, I want to talk just a little bit more about the detoxification part of my journey, because obviously my first week I didn't do so well, but the second week here, now I've noticed that the detoxification is really kind of kicking in.
What are you noticing?
So I've noticed that when I make a bad choice, I don't enjoy it as much. So it's getting that sugar out of my system, so that, like the other night I was sitting at the house, my mom had just a little mini peanut butter cups, and I ate one, and I was like, that doesn't even taste good. So, and besides making better choices, just having, I think, that detoxification has really kind of getting that out of my system better. So I wanted, and I think it's cool that we're doing the Amethyst Biomat, which is detoxification, and that is where I'm noticing the difference this week is with the detoxification.
Because the less sugar that you have in your body, the less you're going to crave sugar, and your body, which I'm really excited that your body's already starting to respond, it's going to tell you when it doesn't want something, and when you're in front of having to make a choice between something that is not going to enhance your healthy being. your body's going to basically start telling you, don't do it. And then if you do, your body then responds and says, told ya.
Yeah. Yep, that wasn't so good.
Right.
We don't like that anymore.
And it takes longer for some people to get to that point. And you're about, what, 2-3 weeks in?
Yeah.
So I'm glad that your body's starting to respond. Yay.
Well, and I just think that anybody who's listening that maybe doesn't have access to all of your stuff, or might be somewhere else where they're not able to get in to use your detoxification stuff, or come here and use the mat, look into detoxification, whether it's
just have them call me.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm a personal trainer and health coach. If you don't have access to these kind of modalities, just call me, 941-468-7091, and I can work with you remotely. We can see what's available in your area. And there are simple things that you can do in your home if you don't have access to things like biomats to help with the detoxification.
Well, that's kind of where I was going, was there are other things that you can do to detoxify if you don't have access to some of these gadgets and gadgets that we're showing, or there are places that you can find them besides our locations.
Right, and so finishing up with the biomat, so it's here at your location, which is where?
229 Del Prado Boulevard North, Unit 9 in Cape Coral, and we are here Monday through Friday. You can call us at 239-677-3559.
And how long is a typical session, or like somebody's first session on the biomat? How long would that be?
They say to start at like 15 minutes and work your way up to about 45 minutes.
Okay, great. I would encourage anyone who's in the Cape Coral area to definitely come down and try this. I'm just starting to feel so much better already sitting here. All right, so again, we're going to be following Suzanne on her weight loss journey, and she weighed in on the scale this morning. She's down over 2 pounds, which is really good, and now her body fat is starting to reduce. Her visceral fat is at a normal level. What we have done and added, which I'm doing with my clients, is also adding a brain assessment. And your brain basically controls everything. And when it comes to weight loss, one of the most important aspects of your brain being able to be balanced is to be able to make those decisions. That's why I was segueing in with the role of the amethyst. Right. It plays right into your brain's ability to make decisions. And specifically, it's the front part of the brain, it's the prefrontal cortex. It is your decision maker, your executive decision maker. It's the part of your brain that when you make a mistake, you learn from it. So if your prefrontal cortex is a little weak and needs a little boosting up, it will actually help make those decisions easier. Picking between the blueberries and the donut. Your prefrontal cortex will kick in and say, okay, you're supposed to have the blueberries, just eat the blueberries. So I did my assessment of Suzanne, and what we're doing with her is boosting up her dopamine, that decision-making portion of the prefrontal cortex. Also, she is not within the parameters of ADD, attention deficit disorder, but she has some of the characteristics thereof. So we've added a little dopamine to her regimen, and also one of the other key issues was her sleep. So go ahead and tell folks about that.
Okay, so you want me to talk about the...
Yeah, talk about the supplements and how your experience is so far.
Okay, so should we show these?
Sure.
And I'm going to read these too because not everyone is watching us. The first one is the Brain MD Focus and Energy, and let's see if we could get that up there.
I'll hold that up there.
So that one's the one that I take during the day. It's supposed to help with focus and energy.
Right.
I have not noticed a lot of energy improvement. I did notice some focus, especially like last Saturday when we were recording. I got up and I was a little foggy for whatever reason, hadn't slept well or whatever. I don't even remember why I was foggy, but I got up and just my head wasn't there yet, and we were starting pretty early, so I took my capsules, and by the time I got to recording, I was noticing a huge difference. On a regular daily basis, if I've gotten a good night's sleep, I'm not noticing it as much. But what I did notice with that one is after about a week or so, I was taking 4 capsules, which is, I think it says 1 to 4 capsules.
Correct.
And you suggested that I start with the 4. I did take a couple days where I just took 1 and then 2 just to kind of make sure I wasn't going to have any allergic reactions or anything. But I was taking 4 every day, and I noticed that I wasn't sleeping as well. And when I would wake up, I couldn't go back to sleep. So I thought, well, maybe it's just a little bit too much. So I cut back to 3. That seems to have helped a lot. And it's been better since I it's just been a couple days that I've cut back to the 3, so I think that's a better level for me.
Great. And talk about the sleep.
This one is it just sleep? I can't see.
It's restful sleep.
Restful sleep, same brand. And this one I take at night, and again, it's 1 to 4 capsules. And I don't know that I've noticed, of course, I was taking too much of the other one, so I don't notice that I've noticed a lot from this. I've been taking 2. I think I'm going to bump it up and try 3.
Right.
Because I do take CBD at night as well, so I'm thinking I should be like pretty much knocked out between the 2, and it just doesn't seem to have quite gotten there yet. So I am going to bump this one up. I wanted to do it the first time on a night that I didn't have to get up and do something the next day. So I think I'll try that tonight, bump it up to 3, and see if that helps.
Great. So that everybody knows why I really like this restful sleep formula. It has melatonin in it, which is a natural hormone that our body produces that decreases as we age. And we will be doing a whole program on how important your sleep is. But just so you know, it does have melatonin in it, which is, again, it's a natural occurring hormone. It's got valerian in it. It's got GABA. And what GABA does is it calms down your mind so that you're not going to have that rat wheel going on in your brain when you're trying to sleep. It will actually calm your mind down. Magnesium and B6 to help your muscles relax so that you don't get those Charlie horses and whatnot while you're sleeping. And again, why I really like this formula is because you can take between 1 and 4 capsules, which really then you can really customize your own dosage and what works for you. And you know, you can customize it on any particular night. Some nights you may need 4. The next night you're really tired. You may just need 1. Right. So you can really customize it with that. The focus on energy. For your dopamine, just so you know what's in here, it's green tea. It's ashwagandha, which we talked about on our last program that your body really responds well to. Rhodiola, which is amazing for your mood, and ginseng and chlorine. So those are some of the ingredients in here that will naturally boost up your dopamine. So that's what we're doing with her as far as her brain health goes. The other thing that I noticed on her assessment was that your thyroid was low. So we're going to talk about, maybe getting a blood draw and getting the thyroid check. So when you don't notice, let me put it this way, the stage that you're at right now, your body is still detoxifying. When your body's detoxifying, you will be a little on the tired side because a lot of your energy is going toward into your digestive system to do that detoxification. So not noticing that much of a boost in your energy, that's probably why, because your body's already going through a detoxification process. So we'll see in the next week or so to see if your energy increases.
Well, and this next week will be a good test. I've got a busy week coming up, so we'll see what happens. See if I can at least maintain that same level of energy, or if I will get depleted like I do a lot of times when I have a busy week. So, yeah.
Okay. And how was this week as far as your eating goes?
It was a lot better. I won't say I was perfect, but I did. I haven't focused on like all of the areas. Like, I mean, we've talked about gluten and dairy and sugar. For me this week, the big one that I was trying to eliminate or to not make those choices was the sugar. So I did a much better job of that. I don't do a lot of dairy, but there was a little bit in, we talked about cheese, that I love cheese, so that's going to be a hard one. So I still had cheese. But I did eat the last of my cheese that I had at my office, so
and
I won't buy any more.
Be done with it. How was your water intake?
For the most part, good. I had a couple days where I just, didn't get quite what I was supposed to, but for the most part, I did pretty good. I think the days that I have to come to you, like the day that I did my last detox thing, I was doing really bad, but then, I made it up drinking while I was in the sauna. So, I did have a couple days where I was a little bit lacking, and like today, because we were doing the thing and I haven't had really that much water this morning, I'll be a little bit behind, so I'll have to catch up.
All right, so everybody understands that once a week, Suzanne is stepping on the body composition scale to get her body fat readings, and on those days, it will necessitate that she does not eat or drink for the 2 hours before. But we are trying to get her into the wellness center, at least once a week, if not twice a week, to do the sauna and the beamer and the whole body vibration, and then she's going to be adding in the Amethyst Biomat for detoxification. So I'm really excited to hear what she has to say during our next podcast, our next YouTube video, as far as how she feels in this detoxification process.
Yeah, I'll get an afternoon nap when I come here to lay on the amethyst mat. My employers will be like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm taking a nap. Just leave me alone."
I'll write you a note so that you can give to your employees and say, "Leave her alone because she's got a nap.
Yeah.
She's detoxifying. Leave her alone."
Well, my employee here will probably be okay with that.
There you go. You can own the place. All right. So here's the segment, the Tell Me More. We encourage you to get in contact with us. Now that you sort of have an idea of what we're going to be doing during Supercharger Health, going on these little road trips, trekking out things like the Biomat. Tell us about your other location up in Ellington.
Yes, we actually have a wellness center in Ellington. So we have a cryo something machine that helps break down fat. That's very new to us. We've only had it for like 2 weeks.
That's another road trip.
And we have some kind of balance machine. I don't even know what it's called. I don't work at that location, so I don't know the details. But the girls up there are very knowledgeable, and they've been on a lot of vacations and stuff, so we'll get them booked in to go up there and do some recordings up there with them. And they'll tell us all about it. There we also have a massage therapist that comes in and does massage therapy there. And I think there's the salt room. We have the salt room up there as well. So we'll go up there and learn about all those things. That one is in Ellington on 301, just right next to the Ace Hardware. If you live in Ellington, Florida, you can stop in there and see them. They'll be happy to explain all of the stuff they have there. That also happens to be our wholesale location for our CBD products. So we'll talk about those when we go up there too, I'm sure.
Great, and we'll be exploring more of the gadgets and gadgets that I have at the Your Total Body Wellness Center in Venice, which is located at 800 East Venice Avenue, Suite C, in Venice, Florida, 34285. If you have, now that you, this is where I started before, now that you have an idea of what we're going to be doing during the Supercharger Health podcast, if you have any gadgets or gadgets that you want us to basically research, do the due diligence, see if it's worth your money. Suzanne, tell them how they can get a hold of us.
So they can email us at info@healthsupercharge.com. You can call either myself, I think Beth gave her phone number earlier, but we'll have you give it again in a second. Probably the best location to reach me at is the Port Charlotte location, which is 941-421-7155. You can always call here in the Cape Coral. It's 239-677-3559. You can tag us on any of the YouTube videos, on any of the podcasts. You can, I think there's even a contact us on our website, which is healthsupercharge.com. And give us your phone number.
My phone number is 941-468-7091.
Are we done?
I think we're done.
All right, Supercharge 2020.